We've been tracking a lot of lawsuits on this program, everything from challenges against Illinois' gun and magazine ban to the challenge against Illinois' law that would allow for the Attorney General to go after certain types of pregnancy centers if they're not offering up abortion services, to even lawsuits that are now starting to stack up against a measure that Governor J.B. Pritzker signed, House Bill 3062, which limits which venue you as a citizen can file a lawsuit in state court against a state law. And another lawsuit has been filed, this time from the Liberty Justice Center. And joining us right now is one of their lead attorneys, Jeffrey Schwab. Jeffrey, thanks for taking time with us this morning here with WMAY. Where'd you guys file this, and what's your arguments you're going to be taking to the courts here?
Morning, Greg. Thanks for having us. Yes, we filed this case in St. Clair County. And our argument is there's two. Basically, first of all, that the government doesn't have the right or the ability to limit where citizens can bring lawsuits against it based on the content of the lawsuit. They can't cherry pick which courts hear their cases. And secondly, that this violates the equal protection rights of the citizens of Illinois' 100 counties that are not outside of citizens outside of Cook and Sangamon County.
So, Jeffrey, one of the arguments that was made when this was brought up on the Senate and House floor, and I'm sure as part of all of this, the transcripts of those debates are going to be aired out in court. But one of the arguments was, hey, listen, in the House, you had State Representative Jay Hoffman say you had all these challenges against COVID mandates popping off all over the place in different counties across the state. You had all of these challenges against the gun law popping off all across the states. And the Attorney General's time's limited and there's a few resources and they have to remain in these two counties. Why is that not a substantive rebuttal?
Well, for two reasons. One is that the legislature just doesn't have that power. So it doesn't matter what reason they give. If they don't have the power, they can't do it. And secondly, just because of the convenience of the government, you can't violate people's constitutional rights. There's two reasons that this violates the equal protection rights of citizens of Illinois' 100 counties. And the first is obviously that they can't bring their lawsuits in their local courts. And second, and almost as important, if not more importantly, they're disenfranchised from voting for judges who will decide constitutional cases because they vote for judges that are in their counties and their local circuit courts and also their local appellate courts. And citizens now of Sangamon County and Cook County are the only voters of judges who can decide constitutional cases. If you thought of this from a legislative perspective, it would be blatantly obvious that it would be unconstitutional. Imagine if the legislature decided, well, when it comes to tax matters, we're just going to allow the elected officials from Cook and Sangamon counties to make those decisions. That would be clearly unconstitutional. But that's exactly what the legislature has done here.
Jeffrey, what's next here? Of course, we watch these cases in different avenues. This is in state courts. Do you anticipate that the Attorney General is going to attempt to transfer this to either Cook or Sangamon County?
Well, I imagine that they might. I can't say what their defense strategy is, but I'm sure that it'll involve something that says that this is the not the right court to bring this in. But even so, that's the point of the lawsuit, is that we can bring this in our local circuit court.
So obviously we'll watch this closely. You filed this week. When do we find out when there's going to be a hearing and the next steps here?
Well, we filed it earlier this week on Tuesday. We should receive a stamped copy from the local clerk soon. We'll get it to the Attorney General, and then they'll have some time, about a month or so, to respond, and we'll see how they respond.
Well, we'll see also if they try to file a motion for an extension to their response, as they seem to have done in similar cases elsewhere. Jeffrey Schwab, Liberty Justice Center, if people want more information on this and to look at your filings, do you have that available online?
Yeah, it's on our website, libertyjusticecenter.org.
All right, it's that simple. libertyjusticecenter.org. Jeffrey Schwab, thanks so much for taking time with us here with Springfield's Morning News on WMAY, and I'm sure we'll talk about this again in the near future.
Thanks, Greg.
It is Springfield.